Okay, here we are. I'm at 11964 Brentwood Grove Drive in Brentwood 90049. We've been leasing this property for the past 5 years. I want to talk about some of the issues in this property, just in case anyone who rents this property in the future will be able to understand all the various problems and be ready for it and be able to tackle them correctly. Well, first of all, there's a lot of noise in this neighborhood. Recently there's been a lot of helicopters passing over. For 3 years we had jackhammering. This neighbor's lawnmower and blower is just really loud. That's just something you have to deal with on Mondays. We're hacking everything, and we're wrapping up to leave. This bottle brush tree is a beautiful nest for a lot of food for a lot of hummingbirds. That's great, but the problem is that it was so huge, branches were breaking and falling off. So this was twice the size. We actually cut it just recently, and then the landlord all of a sudden, the landlord had started claiming that he had served us a 60-day notice before we started trimming. He claimed later on that he had served us a 60-day notice and he wanted us out. It's a funny situation. It was I think we cut this stuff down in October, and in December he claimed that he had already served us a 60-day notice, so he's pushing us to move out. Had I known, I would have not trimmed those trees either. I trimmed all those trees. They were so huge, they were blocking the sun pretty much past 2 p.m. you had no sun. So in October, previous years I did some, and then in October I had all of them all the way to the other one cut down. There was a huge one over there, and there's one in the back, and these two I cut them. Had I known that they supposedly had given us a notice, I mean obviously it was a lie, had I known that they want us out by a certain date, I would have not bothered to do all this tree trimming. Okay, we have problems with rats. There's like rats living all over there. They go under the clay tile and they get into the property. Somehow they go into the air canals for the AC, for the central air, and you hear them in the ceiling, in the hallway next to the kitchen, and in the kitchen. They also do get in through this exhaust here, and I think, or someplace around here, because they do come through the fireplace. Again, sorry for the mess. We're packing up to leave, but I thought whoever rents this property or buys it should know a few things about it. There's a lot of other rat problems. As you see, this branch has fallen off. There's a lot of other rat problems in the front. The bird of paradise, the giant bird of paradise, is so tall. The rats are constantly in front of the house and in the back. They're constantly trafficking up and down. They're going into the house. They go through the windows are old, and especially in the front, they're the crank window type. So the windows do go through, and they had even dug under one of the doors. They were getting out of the bedroom and going other places. Another place that here we are by the sunroom. Over here I put a block here because rats were going through. They had carved this. Everything's rotten. They had carved this area out, and they were getting into the block. And I put that funny little trimming there, molding there to stop them, because they were going under the doors. Yeah, a lot of rat problems. This sunroom here is a source of a lot of cold air coming to the house. The glass is single glazed all over the house. The glass is single glazed. These things are not retrofitted. They're not tight. A lot of cold air comes into the house. The house is so cold that even though right now we're having a very good January, I had to put curtains up to block the cold air that usually goes through the house. It's very ghetto, but it worked pretty well. Another problem with the sunroom is that area, there's no clay tile or anything covering. There's not enough of an overhang. So when it rains like crazy, over here you have the overhang. Over there, if you look, you really don't have it. So the rain comes down, pours down, and if you have heavy rain, it actually gets into the sunroom. That's a bit of a problem with this house, but that happens only under heavy rain. The landlord thinks that this is a jungle. that we've created. And well, right now it doesn't look very good because we are moving and we're putting things away, so it doesn't look that great, but in the summer it was pretty beautiful. So anyways, they want everything removed, so we're removing all the plants. They even want the trees trimmed and everything to go back to the way it was on day one. So as you can see, we have boxes and everything here. Yeah, this is the entertainment center we have there. Rats somehow get into the air canals, and there's holes in the back of that thing, and we've actually put duct tape, if you can see. But yeah, the rats get in there and they get out of the entertainment center. I put like blocks of wood here to stop the rats from coming out. Same thing here. I used to have something blocking that gap. It fell through, I guess. Well, this is the bar. As you can see, we have packed up the bottles and everything ready to go. The fridge overfrosts. It's a good quality fridge, but it's so old it's overfrosting. Also, we had to disconnect the ice maker because it was dripping. Water was dripping into the ice maker and it was constantly icing up. So I turned it off and I disconnected the ice maker down here. It leaks a little bit too. That was the problem also. So I actually had to put a tray there to collect tiny trickle of water. Here, one so now doesn't work, one works, that's fine. The ice crusher and so forth, that doesn't work at all. It used to work a little bit. I don't know what happened. We never used it really. It's an old machine. So this is the kitchen at the property, and it's just really dark, and especially now that we put up that curtain, it's really dark. We had to put blocks of wood here because underneath there's a gap, and rats could actually go in behind the drawer. If you pull out the drawer, you'll see that the rat can go under and go up. Same thing here. So yeah, that's that problem. We put these 2x4s or 2x2s underneath so the rats cannot go into the... They don't go into... They actually go underneath, they go behind the drawer, and then they jump into the drawer too. So if you have any kind of food item, that's a problem. The sewage here in the pool, bathroom and so forth, it backs up once in a while. And the drain here backs up, so we one time had tons of water. This is the laundry room. Tons of water coming in, warping the flooring. And that's really something they know about, but of course they like to blame it on you. But you can see things are a little bit warped here. Not that bad. Here underneath the washer and dryer should have not been laminate anyways, but they put they usually put tile, but they haven't. The bathroom is gaudy, so otherwise it's functional. We never use it because it's so far removed and cold from. We call the green room. It's technically the dining room. As you see, we are packing up to leave. That's not my artwork. It's some awful thing. This is mine. Anyways, the windows here don't shut too well, so even in the summer it's damn cold here. It's very cold, and so we always keep this door closed too, because this room just simply does not warm up. There's a lot of draft coming through. In the kitchen, a lot of times you hear the rats going in the air canals that are there, the air ducts, and back and forth. The fridge, it looks good, but it's pretty old and has bad gaskets. These gaskets are so bad we had to put duct tape. For a while it wasn't even working. It was not really cooling anything. Now it kind of works, but it's not really that cold. The fridge used to overfrost. I think we fixed that. Again, with duct tape because of the gap being open. So we kind of closed the gap with adding some duct tape. This is the front entrance of the property, and again, a lot of warm air when you try to warm up the house goes up the stairs, so we had to put up a curtain. Again, ghetto style. What can you do when you're a tenant? You can't really install plexiglass or any doors or anything. So it's even darker now with this, but it does help. You kind of just block the warm air from completely rushing out. Well, this is the bedroom. We're looking out from the bedroom. There's a stop sign there. Cars stop and go. Noise in the morning. Trucks on Tuesday. Trash. A lot of noise here. This door doesn't quite, this sliding door does not really close completely. It doesn't even have a handle. We've tried to fix it because the foundation has shifted. This thing is not square anymore. So it doesn't completely close. And it's really hard to open up because of the foundation being a problem. Yeah, so it doesn't quite close. So every time I want to shut it, I have to push and try and kind of hope that it went all the way. If not, try it again. So not only you have noise, you have some guy who has his motorcycle muffler removed, so he makes a lot of noise, and he passes here at 7:50 in the morning every day. I've tried to talk to him, but he didn't seem to care, it seems. Sometimes he dashes off really fast, passing all the stop signs. He works at the there's, I think, an elderly house by Mount St. Mary's right in front of the campus. He works there and he makes a lot of noise, and sometimes he's just speeding through, burning gas and making a lot of noise. A lot of noise. He used to go through at 6 o'clock, waking up everyone on his path. It was insane. And of course we have the helicopters too. By the way, the stop sign reflects the sunshine in the morning from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock and makes a very interesting show through these shutters. Colorful rainbow all over the ceiling, which is kind of cute. The property has shifted, so yeah, the foundation has shifted, so you have like things cracking heavily. And this happened after, because we painted the house when we moved in. The property was in good condition before. I mean, it was better. We fixed up all the cracks and now it's all out. The master bathtub is just really hard to turn and close the water taps. It just goes over. It turns over and over, and the water keeps running and running. Sometimes it's very difficult to turn it off. Master bathroom toilet area did not have a vent. We installed it. We painted the whole house, by the way, because everything was pink. This house was all pink when we moved in. This shower, it's very hard to turn this thing. This knob had come off. I have actually had this wrench on it for years. It's actually rusted over the years. That's kind of miserable. Yeah, this thing is too loose and there's no good way of attaching it really, unless you glue it. It's completely rusted. I think the chimney in the master bedroom is not really locked at the outside, so pigeons and all kinds of birds and squirrels sometimes come through into the chimney, and of course we had little dogs that were always barking and chasing them. Upstairs we are at my office. The rats have eaten the carpet underneath the door, and same thing with the guest bedroom over there. If you look underneath, they've eaten the carpet to make a path for themselves. I added this little molding to stop the rats going through the house. This room is very cold. Again, because these things don't really close. It's single glaze, and just even in summertime you can't really use this room. It's very cold. And of course you have so many trees. That tree in the front, which is an olive, it's very ugly. It doesn't have any bark left. The poor thing on it. They have really butchered it, whoever has done whatever tree trimming. There's no bark left on it, so it looks like a skeleton of sorts. And we've asked to get rid of it, cut it, sell it, because people would buy probably the wood. The wood is valuable actually, but they wouldn't let us. They like that ugliness in the front.